Songs are the soundtracks to our lives. They take us back by marking moments, experiences, memories. They make us pause and reflect. They make us feel. But what if there was a song written for you that had never been sung? And what if that song had the power to find its way back to you, to tell its heartfelt story of unrealized love and admiration, and sing for the first time 72 years later? That's the milestone that happened to Roz Cron. So today we're here with Roz Cron from Los Angeles, but originally from the Boston, Massachusetts area, right?
Right.
And she has an amazing story to tell. She has an unknown jazz tale that I would like to help uncover, and we're going to do that today in our Milestone experience. Absolutely.
Okay. It's a long ride.
I know. And this is where most of the magic is going to happen today. This is like command center.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
With all the gear and stuff.
I'm here with Joel Lanson, and he's come here to create a recording of a really special piece of music that was written for your mother.
Yes.
Your mother has a great backstory too. Tell us a little bit about her history in the music business, and about her special story as she was is in these all-female bands.
Well, my mother, I didn't know much about my mother's story until about 1987. She had told me to read an article in the Wall Street Journal, which kind of surprised me because she's not someone who reads the Wall Street Journal.
Right.
But in the middle section of the front page of the Wall Street Journal, there's always like a current event thing.
Mhm.
And somebody was doing a movie about this all-women, female big band from the 40s called the International Sweethearts of Rhythm. And so I called her up. I said, okay. So I read this article. What's this about? Well, I was in the band. And I said, but it was an all-black band, and I don't think that you qualified for that. And she said, no, at the time I was the white member of the band, and that's what I did. She was a saxophone player and a clarinet player.
We were international because we had our baritone sax player was part Chinese and part black, and
Awesome.
and we had Puerto Ricans, and I'm Jewish from Boston,
Right.
and we had just people from every place, and
Music's the universal language,
yes,
so
and
you
we
know,
all lived
should be
together
universal.
in a
That's
bus.
fantastic.
It was our own little world, and nobody interfered with us, and it was just a great way to live.
That's amazing. So she had this other life prior to yours as a jazz instrumentalist.
Yes.
As the only white woman in an otherwise all-black band during the war when all the guys had gone off
In the
overseas
40s.
in the 40s
Right.
and toured around. And this is something, I get chills talking about it, that you found out because of the Wall Street Journal. So let's fast forward now many years. You told us this most fantastic story that the Milestone event that you wanted to do wasn't, in fact, even going to be a song that you had originally written, but this amazing piece of music that you uncovered almost by accident. Tell us how that happened.
She says, yes, I'd like you to go to the piano. And she has a little stand-up piano. Says, I'd like you to play the piece of music that's sitting there. It was laminated. I went there, it was old. And I said, let me take this home and let me practice it for a while, and then I'll come back and play it. And she says, okay. And then I realized there's some lyrics to this thing. And I started looking at the lyrics. And aside from the lyrics, there was a letter written in between the bars.
Actually on the sheet music.
Actually on the sheet music. And it was dated 1944 from a gentleman named George Russell. So I came back to her. I said, Mom, do you know, have you read the lyrics on this? She says, well, it's been many, many years. And I was thinking about this while I was practicing. And I said, this is it. This would be so special because she's 91 years old. Okay.
So what we did is you gave us this manuscript, and we sent it to our wonderful piano player in New York City who's played with Sinatra and Bob Hope and all these great, wonderful people. And he played the music, the piano music that George wrote. This particular piece didn't have an intro,
I know,
and
I
it
know.
didn't have like a solo section or
Yeah.
anything. So we asked Jeff to take a little embellishment to create a little intro Then he played the music exactly as George wrote it. And then we embellished it with a solo, and Monty went on to play some jazz guitar on it. We have a very special surprise for you today, in addition to recording the song that George wrote. So we actually created a second verse with his letter that he
Oh,
wrote,
my goodness.
singing it to the music. Well, here you go. So this is what we have.
So you're going to play the bass and have it come through the machine?
Yes, I am. I can't guarantee that I'll get it in one pass, but I should get most of it.
A concerto filters through nature's symphony. To you, beauty blends with strings, and love's created.
Thanks especially to Joel for paying attention to this piece of music that was sitting there and not realizing that not only was there a great story in it, but there was a great outcome in it. And then, of course, to Roz and everyone for making the trip out here and giving us the creative freedom to turn it into a piece of music rather than something that was just sitting there. So this is our world premiere of Dearest Roz, a piano played by Jeff Franzel in New York. I played guitar and bass, and I programmed some percussion that you'll hear in it. That was all done right here. And Anna sang it just a couple of hours ago. And while you guys were waiting, I was getting her vocal all comped together and ready to go. So all you have to do, Roz, is hit the space bar.
That's the big one.
That's the big one.
Wow.
That's it. And let it go.
All right, here it comes. Dearest Roz, I hear strings, they sing a song to the dawning, flowers perfumed with a strange rhapsody, a concerto filters through nature's symphony. To you, beauty blends with strings, and love's created. Express eternally all my love for you, my dear, and may we be through the beauty of our song always remain one. Darling, speeding you home to me, speeding you home to me, speeding you home to me.
while ago, my uncle sent me a picture via email of George Russell and my grandmother walking down the streets of Chicago in 1944. I didn't think much of it, and now when I look back, that picture brings a tear to my eye. It's just amazing, and Monty and Anna did a phenomenal job. Oh my God, brought a tear to my eye.
I'm overwhelmed by the amount of work that the devotion to the music that I saw today. It's just an incredible piece of artistry, and the music is so beautiful. That's all I can say.